What's going on, guys? Uche and Joku, and I am here in my studio. Just spent the past 4 hours moving things around, reconnecting things, updating my iPad, my Mac Mini, my MacBook Pro back there with a Dell monitor. This is my lab. This is my workspace that I haven't fully utilized since I've been here for almost a year now. Actually, no, it has been a year since I've been here in this apartment after moving out of the house. And it's funny because this was my passion project during the pandemic, building out a podcast studio. And it's become a little bit more than that. It's become something that's allowed me to really escape from the stresses of the day, to build and tinker and kind of have this thing that I have now. From the different camera angles, I'm actually able to show you more of my studio. Some of you have seen this. Some of you are probably seeing things that you haven't seen before. And a lot of the things too is more software than it is hardware. There's been some upgrades here, but one of the things I did do this time is I have now 4 cameras. I have the RP, that's my main camera you're looking at right now. Then I have a Canon R50 as my B camera right over here. Then I have 2 GoPros, one over here. You're seeing me kind of a side view from my right, and kind of not really a side view, but more like angled towards the tech itself. But you can still see me in the frame from my left side. And this is it. This has been a passion project of mine for a while now, and just being able to have a space to be able to stand. Actually, before sitting, now I'm standing and speak to you. I've known I've had to build this for a while. I built it, wasn't quite sure what to do with it. At one point in time, I had a podcast with guests on there. I've done this kind of like a solo podcast where I just kind of vomit whatever I'm thinking or feeling in the moment, or whatever bright idea I have in my head. Not something that's really sustainable or one that would really allow me to build an audience. But it's something that kind of kept me practicing and asking myself, like, what is it I can do that makes me feel most comfortable? And I'll tell you this, is doing this right here, standing and speaking from the heart, speaking from experience, speaking from about topics that I understand, at least for me, that I understand personally. It doesn't require me to kind of like have to go back and research. I can speak from experience. So this is what I want to do. I've always wanted to have a space where I can just stand and speak. It's almost like being a kid in church or at the mosque. My father was a devout Muslim. My mother is a devout Christian. And I grew up in those two spaces, listen to the imam, read from the Quran. Also listen to all these amazing ministers and preachers, Pentecostal, Bible thumping, getting the community and getting people riled up, for the good of the community, for the good of their grace with God. And that space is where I come from. It's funny because I never thought about that before, that being a part of my heritage. I am best when I am in spirit, in the moment, speaking to my students, speaking to parents, speaking to an audience, whoever it may be. And it's funny because for the past 6 weeks, I've had every other weekend, pretty much, a space for me to go and speak to people about the work that I do with artificial intelligence as a principal. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not an expert in AI. I do not code and I do not build anything. I just share ideas. I share how I use it. I share how it impacts my life. I share how it's made me a much better leader. I share how it's impacted the way I think as one who's dyslexic, and also, having to do with my level of ADHD. But being able to be in spaces where now I feel like I have superpower, how I use AI. And I've been sharing that, and I wrote a small little book, AI Enhanced Leadership, and that's allowed me now to at least for the past 6-7 weeks speak in front of people, not just people, but fellow principals and aspiring district leaders and higher ed folks about AI and how AI is something that needs to be seen, understood, practiced on a daily basis to better understand it, and also be able to also come up with practical use case scenarios that allows us to actually take it and put it into our classrooms. But again, these are the things I've been talking about, and just being able to stand in front of an audience and do this and talk and look at people's eyes and say, hey, this is who I am. Eyes. Actually, this is who I am with all my flaws and my mistakes has been so empowering. And I think it's inspired me to come back into this space and say, you know what? In those spaces, I'm speaking to 20, 30, 40 people. But here I get to speak to potentially thousands, if not millions, if I make this make sense. Make this make sense. So this is what I want to do. Right now, I am in my space. This space right here, I think I'm going to be able to do a lot of good things with. It's just finding the inspiration, the inspiration to stand here and walk around and speak. And I'll tell you right now, guys, I've built out something that's, for me at least, I don't know about anybody else, that's quite incredible to me. This is going to be interesting because I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably going to be sloppy as hell. But I think I have the opportunity here with this setup here to do something quite incredible. I just need you guys to encourage me and to pour into me and say, hey, Uche, do this. Uche, do this. Uche, do this. Because I feel like this is what I was put on the plan to do, is to speak. And my words are going to be what inspires and moves the needle forward, not just in education, but just for all of us. I just want to be one of those voices. So again, Uche, speak. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be well.